Hello and welcome to PlayStation Access. My name's Rob and I've just emerged from saving the galaxy in Star Wars Jedi Survivor. The Force is strong in this one, but so are the enemies. So here are some expert tips and tricks to help start your training. We'll cover how to level up faster, where to spend your skill points, how to turn enemies against their friends, and a great trick for mastering parries and evades. Everything to ensure you get the most out of the game. If you're looking for something specific, we've got time codes in the text description. If you find the video helpful, click the thumbs up and subscribe to PlayStation Access for more videos like this. Jedi Survivor's combat is a little bit like Sekiro's in that it hinges on breaking defense, represented by the white stun meter below the enemy's health. You can whittle it down with attacks and force powers, but the fastest way to break it is to parry. This means raising your defense with L1 just as the enemy is on its way to connecting. You'll know you aced the timing if you see the flash of white. The key thing is not to spam taps of the block button and hope you get lucky. Instead, get into the habit of holding block after you raise your blade for a parry. That way, if you do fluff the timing, you're guarding against a face full of pain. The exception are red glowing attacks, which must be dodged. More on those in a sec. Where you might trip up is wanting to attack straight after a parry. Many enemies have follow-up moves designed to catch you out. One way to get your head around trickier opponents is to use the game's slow mode. It's in the accessibility options and lets you crank down time when combat initiates. What this does, apart from looking epically cool, is reveal how every move works, teaching attack patterns in a safer environment. Yes, you then have to take that knowledge and apply it in real time, but studying foes and seeing how one move follows the next is a great way to prepare for tougher duels. Jedi Survivor also adds a precision evade mechanic which instantly became our new best friend in combat. Cal has an evasive sidestep which is traditionally used to dodge away from unblockable red attacks by tapping circle and steering with the analog stick. Press circle by itself and he'll do a smaller hop backwards. If you time this at the moment you'd usually parry, you do a perfect evade. You know it works if you see Cal blur a little, like Agent Smith dodging bullets in the Matrix. Why is this valuable? For starters, it keeps you right up in the attacker's face, ready to hit them back. If you're dodging, you aren't always positioned for a follow-up. But more importantly, it recharges your force, which is a vital combat resource. Put time into familiarizing yourself with attack patterns, and this evade is a really good way to center yourself and recharge in the fight. Of course, as with parrying, this does mean getting to grips with attack patterns. If anything, it's more important with precision evades as you aren't interrupting the enemy attack. Again, slow mode is your friend if you want to train. You'll be amazed how many moves you can dodge. You can even do it with many unblockable red attacks. It's time to go full Neo. The next one is a quick tip, but don't forget the tactical guide. This is the part of the in-game databank that tells you about enemies and offers tips for tackling them. Many foes have handy weaknesses, like being able to force push a bile maw over when you're standing to its side, or knowing that Magna Guards go ballistic if you chop their heads off. So make sure to scan enemies after you first defeat them by hitting BD1's on-screen Q. Even better, once you get to Kobo and unlock the BD Noculars, you can scan enemies before a fight, a good way to get the drop on them. Dodging and parrying are easier in a straight duel, but the galaxy doesn't like a fair fight. You're often facing a group, and that means thinning the herd and prioritizing targets to even the odds. For starters, you can sneak attack unaware enemies from behind. If you spot a vulnerable guard, wait for the button prompt. Pulling your saber early will alert the group. More useful is getting the drop on unaware platoons. From up high, you can identify elite troops and target them deliberately. You just need to double jump over their heads and press the button Q. If enemies are grouped together, wait for them to wander apart so you don't target the wrong person. Don't waste this free attack on B1 droids or stormtrooper grunts. Slam the nastiest thing in the gang. Once you're in the fight, it's good to get some distance from melee attackers so you can focus on tapping block to reflect blaster fire to remove ranged threats. The temptation is to then get rid of lower troops so you can focus on trickier melee enemies, but a lot of Jedi Survivor's common droids come with mine and rocket attacks, which are really good against technical fighters. Use force pull to bring the projectile to you, and then force push to throw it at nastier enemies. It's often worth keeping a B2 battle droid alive so you can use its rockets on his raider friends. As cool as it is to fight like an honourable Jedi Master, sometimes you just want a guy gone. Minimum of fuss. There's no shame in exploiting enemies in Jedi Survivor. The obvious trick is to force push enemies off cliffs, which can even work on strong enemies and boss characters, particularly useful during bounty hunter missions. Though you might want to upgrade the Howling Push skill to boost push intensity. If there's no obvious hole, enemies can be led away from where the fight starts to get them near a ledge. Now shunt away! Our other tip relates to the truly horrible Mogu, who is a very tough customer. If you get stuck against this brute in the forest array, just lead him back round to this door and chop at him while he looks sad. While this guy, found here in the Basalt Rift, can be easily bested by running back to this pillar and hopping down to hit his back when he goes home. Worth sorting early, as there's a stim upgrade on the cliff above him. Speaking of which, the easiest way to extend your life is with more health, and the easiest way to get more of that is by unlocking stim upgrades for BD1. Some are found along the main story path, others are uncovered by exploring the world as you unlock new powers, but a couple of easy ones are available early on. For starters, once you get to Kobo and unlock Doma Dendra's shop, paying her 10 priorite shards gets a key to her storeroom, which packs a handy upgrade, a better use of currency than an unlockable moustache. Secondly, once you've tamed Nekos, you can access the Chamber of Clarity by jumping onto these vines and climbing up. The reward in this puzzle room is the Fellowship perk that adds a whole extra stim. If you don't have the 4 perk slots needed to activate it, you can spend 10 data discs with Z in Pyloon's saloon to buy an extra slot. Before you do buy an extra perk slot from Z, you might want to spend data discs on buying the Wisdom perk from her, as it increases the amount of XP earned in battle. Obviously, make sure to equip it while meditating. Anything that speeds up your leveling early in the game is going to be a big use. With this perk equipped, you can farm XP by finding a group of enemies near a meditation point, killing them, and then quickly resetting the encounter by meditating. Personally, we found enough combat during everyday exploring, but if you are in a hurry, try the meditation point in Fort Carlin. There are loads of low-level droids easily dispatched with blaster parries, and this multi-troop transport drops several waves of moderately powerful attackers. While we're talking about XP, a quick note about losing it. As in the first game, if you die to an enemy with XP, you'll lose it and be required to hunt that enemy down to regain it. You don't need to kill them, just land one solid hit to return what was yours. This is slightly easier in Jedi Survivor once you've unlocked the blaster stance, as you can attack from a better distance. Though Cal is so nimble, it's easy enough to dodge through the group and land a saber hit. Dying in a boss fight drops the XP as a beacon on the floor and means one of our favourite tricks from Fallen Order still works here. Because the beacon also regenerates health and force powers, don't just pick it up at the start of the fight. Leave it as a bonus pick-me-up for later in the boss encounter. Unlike BD1 stims, there's no slow activation animation, so dodge over to it in your hour of need. With some skill points in your back pocket, it's time to unlock some skills. Planning your route through the skill tree looks hard at first, as the later skills are hidden. But if you highlight a hidden entry and press square, you'll see a description to help inform your choices. Different people will value different bonuses, but we strongly recommend using early points to invest in health upgrades by buying survival skills, improved survival skills, and expert survival skills in the resilience tree, and force upgrades by buying attunement, lucid attunement, and enlightened attunement in the Jedi concentration branch. This does mean ignoring cool lightsaber moves, But use this time to get to grips with the basic stances. Blaster and crossguard unlock later than the first 3, so you might end up with buyer's remorse if you switch out, say, a heavily upgraded double-ended stance for one of those. Of course, if you do regret anything, you can reset your skill tree once for free, and then it costs a skill point every time after that. We also recommend pumping points into Confusion, as this is a hugely beneficial addition to Cal's moves.
We'll fight together.
The main threat in Jedi Survivor is getting overwhelmed by numbers. Face 2 competent melee attackers and you've got twice as many dodges and parries to nail. Confusion instantly relieves that pressure by removing one of your opponents. Even better, they will start hurting other people for you and get hurt themselves, making them easier to kill when brainwashing wears off. This makes so many tricky encounters a cakewalk that we cannot recommend it enough. Focus on working towards the superior Confusion and Confusion Mastery skills, as they allow you to target more enemy types, and then invest in Confounded Mind to lengthen the effect, and Amplification to strengthen their attacks. Oh, and don't waste it on common grunts. Elite helpers only. Your mind tricks won't work on droids, but you can hack them with a couple of upgrades off the beaten path. Once you've unlocked Cage in Pyloon's saloon, you can take on her bounties to collect pucks, which can be exchanged for hacks for B1 and B2 droids. These work slightly differently based on different enemies. To hack B1 droids, you bring them close with a force pull and press down on the D-pad to hack. For the B2 types, you need to damage them first until you see the D-pad symbol. Hit it and BD1 will scuttle over. These are incredibly useful skills for making big droid fights more manageable, but we recommend buying the B2 droid hack first, as these guys are much more heavy duty and better to have on your side. Finally, a quick note on exploring. Koboh is vast and intimidating to begin with, but the map does a lot of heavy lifting. It marks blocked paths in red and tells you when you've got the relevant skill with a green marker. When you're getting your bearings early on, look for yellow markers, as these denote substantial paths or areas yet to be discovered. It's a handy steer for initial exploration. You can drop map markers, and we saved these for marking these red chests. You won't be able to unlock these until really late in the story, so register them for later. Finally, while hunting for collectibles, do press square on the map to see what it is you're looking for. Chests and essences are always very visible from afar, but if you're missing seeds, that tells you to head for shrubbery and look for green fireflies. And those are our tips and tricks for getting a good Jedi foothold in the challenging galaxy of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. If they've helped you out, give the video a like, and if you have your own Jedi wisdom to share, please do let us know in the comments. Why not check out Dave's love letter to Jedi Survivor while you're here, and we'll hopefully see you again soon. Bye for now.
PlayStation